Hello, and welcome to the Ident Review, the show where we have a good look and chat about the various television idents that we have come to know and love over the years. And for this instalment, we're taking a look at one of ITV's many offshoots. It's the ITV2 Idents from 2013. ITV2 was first launched back in 1998, and in terms of on-screen branding, it's tended to always sort of follow its older brother, ITV1, which of course makes sense in one respect, have all your channels look similar to generate familiarity in the brand. But the idents that we're covering today, which come just after ITV's overall 2013 rebrand, demonstrate that ITV2 could deviate a little from the norm, and give birth to a bit more crazy, fun and memorable idents than what came before. So to start things off, let's have a look at one that launched the rebrand, Lilo Walker.
Morning, yes, thanks for noticing. We've had a bit of a makeover on ITV2. Let's get Monday up and running then, shall we? And there's a tough decision for Jimmy in Emmerdale.
So what you see here is pretty much how we're going to go the rest of the way. This initial ident represents a lot of what will follow in this episode. A fairly simple concept, or sequence, a woman walking her dog, except the dog has been dressed up to look like a lion. Now this ident quite accurately begins to demonstrate how ITV2 represented some of the more diverse, out there content that the channel broadcasts. Nothing special in my view, but it definitely gives you a bit of a chuckle. There was actually a variation to this sequence, so let's give that one a quick little look.
This is ITV2. There's never a dull moment on those cobbles, as you know, so better see what's been going on. It's Corrie.
Did you all spot the difference? Of course you did. There's really nothing different here apart from that the dog now resembles more of a panda than a lion, and personally I think the lion version worked better because it was so obviously a dog dressed up, almost like the creative team was self-aware in making something look a bit more ridiculous. But this is a dog that just looks like it resembles a panda more without really trying too hard, and as a result, had we not seen the lion version first, this just comes across as a bit boring. But moving on, our next ident of the day is chair curling.
We're nipping across the pond with a certain Mr. Kyle for JK in the USA in half an hour here on ITV2. That's after a second one from the cobbles and a suspicious Carla in more Corrie.
Now, it appears daft, but I really like this one. This is what I'm talking about when I say that ITV2's idents started to represent more of the fun that the channel had to offer. We see a group of office workers and janitors take part in a makeshift version of the winter sport curling, but what I love and what makes this work is the detail within. How the woman in the chair represents the object thrown, how the janitor with their brooms represent the team members who brush in an actual game of curling. It's such a simple detail to mention, but it works wonders here. Definitely one of my favourites from this ITV2 set. But next up today we have Supermarket Joust.
Yes, this is still your ITV2, just in case you were wondering. A double bill from the courtroom with Judge Judy gets going in half an hour, right after we banish those post-weekend blues with Harry and You've Been Framed.
Another surefire winner for me. This is what I love most about a lot of this set from ITV2. It's the mix and match of the mundane and the extreme. In this case, the mundane is the appearance of a standard supermarket. The extreme included is a group of adults using trolleys and shopping supplies as equipment for a game of jousting. You say that out loud, it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and in the form of a short ident, that's exactly why it works. If anything, it's one of those sequences that just brings a smile to viewers' faces purely based on how silly it is. Massive props to the creative team of ITV2 for this one. However, will our next ident follow in this similar vein? Let's find out with Bubble Wrap Sumo.
We're joining Jeremy stateside for JK in the USA in just under an hour here on ITV2. Noticed our makeover yet? Back to our Real Housewives double now, and Tamra's got a new man.
Okay, I don't care what you say, this looks really fun. I mean, I've never tried sumo wrestling, even in those big blow-up outfits, but seeing two people going at it in bubble wrap suits, I mean, come on, that's going to be hilarious. I would just spend most of my time popping myself, but that's beside the point. This is pure fun, and another example of the minds at ITV2 just wanting to show something a bit different, a bit quirky, that ultimately is nice to view for an audience, and in my case makes me want to try it. Please don't tell me I'm the only one. Anyway, let's move on swiftly to our next ident, and that is Office Fan Tennis. I hate to repeat myself, but this looks a lot of fun. There seems to be this running theme of not only mixing the mundane with the more extreme, but also taking usually normal and standard situations, like working in an office, and injecting a good dose of fun and colour into them. No coincidence that the main colours in this ident pop from the ball, which is the source of the fun, and those playing, who are embodying the fun that can be had. That may be a little too deep analysis for a 20-second ITV2 ident, but hey, that's what you're getting. So what do we have next? We have hay rolls.
Rather dramatic Corrie double for you now on ITV2. The Rovers is still smouldering, Kirsty's ready for court, and Sylvia attends Manchester's dark and mysterious 1 o'clock club. It's not dark and mysterious actually, I just like saying that.
ITV2 should really go into promoting exercise. Honestly, a few of these idents have shown energetic activities that I would happily take myself out of the house and partake in. This time it's two lads just messing about and rolling on some hay bales. It's simple fun, but it provides a smile once more, and it really inspires me to try it myself. Almost baffles me actually that they didn't pull any warnings to young kids, to not try some of this stuff. Having rolled on a hay bale myself, you don't ideally want to fall off one of them. But enough blabber, our next ident of the day is Wheelbarrow Workmen.
Patty's putting her matchmaking skills to the test again in an hour. A bossy plastic surgeon and a 3 times divorced pole dancer don't sound like the easiest clients, though. Good luck.
A bit more of the performance tint here. This sequence has flashy musical written all over it. Now don't get me wrong, the way the performers wield the wheelbarrows is truly really impressive. I just wish that if they were going for that more musical theatre kind of vibe, that they went the full hog with it. Add lots of flash and flare, background dancers, the whole shebang. There's nothing bad or wrong with what's here, but for me, I think they should have just had this as their all-out ident with lots of bangs and pops to truly make an impression in the mind of the viewer. Moving on now, our next ident to look at is airport trolleys.
Two times the Northern drama now in Corrie. What I'm trying to say is we've a Corrie double coming up here on ITV2, so if you've missed any, now's your chance to catch up.
One of the funniest activities you can do at an airport. I mean, as adults, long gone are the days where our parents would push us around on the luggage trolleys. However, seeing these guys doing it and having so much fun, again brings a big old smile to my face. I love the two flight crew in the background who look at what's going on but clearly aren't bothered about doing anything. As much fun as it looks, I bet you now if you ran through a terminal or gate with your mates all on trolleys and screaming your heads off, you're probably going to get arrested. But hey, this one is another example of what good fun you can have in the most common of places. So what do we have next, you ask? We have Lilo Run.
Right, don't vote in the online polls this time as your vote won't count, and it'll just be a waste of time really. With strong language, sexual references, nudity and flashing images, it's crazy beaches.
Now, who didn't do this as a kid? Or an adult? Lining up all your inflatables and seeing who, if anyone, could jump across all of them was the best kind of pool game you could play. What I particularly love about this ident sequence is the way the colours of the Lilo and the pool just burst out onto the screen, and pretty much each shot we see has been expertly captured and looks gorgeous. Another favourite of the set for me, and it makes me wish I was somewhere sunny, on an island. Oh, speaking of islands, our final ident of the day was used to introduce one of the most popular and one of my most detested programmes of the modern day, Love Island. And the title of this sequence is Swimming Pool.
So, John and Tony, what happened in those secret rooms? We're finding out right now in brand new Love Island. Get involved in the gossip on Twitter at Love Island. And just a warning, this may contain strong language and adult content.
And sadly, we couldn't have finished with a bigger disappointment. Honestly, after all the fun, the charm, the colour, the wackiness that we've had with the idents in this set, it's incredibly heartbreaking to see that this ident is just horrendously boring. Nothing happens. It's a panning shot of people by a swimming pool and that is it. The colours don't even pop out much here, and you have a swimming pool at your disposal. It's kind of fitting that the most boring and dull ident of the set was used to introduce Love Island of all things. To me, that really is no coincidence at all. Overall, many of the idents in this ITV2 set are true winners. They encapsulate all the fun you can have by doing such wacky things in normal seeming places, having fun with friends or family, at home or abroad, just a lot of simple concepts that have been manipulated brilliantly by the channel's designers. For what they have made is a set that has, for me at least, given many lasting impressions for several of its individual idents, and for any channel in any era, that certainly is no easy feat. And so we've come to the end, but before we go, the final words from our broadcaster. That was all this week for this instalment of the Ident Review. I hope you all enjoyed watching it, and we hope that you tune in next week. We hope you had a very happy new year, and a very prosperous 2019. You've got all the usual favourite programmes to look forward to, as well as some one-off programming coming soon. But until then, have a good week, and we hope that you join us again soon. Good night.